أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. Alhamdulillah, we have been blessed with an opportunity to commemorate and remember the Holy Prophet. This is a unique opportunity which deserves shukr, it deserves thanks. Dear brothers and sisters, shukr is a real emotion, correct? Meaning it's like pain and hunger. You see that? What that means is it's something which is felt, not simply declared. You see that? Sometimes, if we're not attentive, shukr sometimes becomes one of those things which is easily declared but rarely felt. Okay? I'm going to open that up for you now. Salawat, please. Let's look at the effects of shukr as our understanding and our appreciation regarding something increases. So consider this analogy very well. There's an echo in here. You can fix that if possible. Thank you. Imagine if I had a cup of water right here. Okay? No, that was not a sign for you. I'm thinking, imagine if I had a cup of water right here. Okay? How much would I appreciate the water in your hand? Well, if I already have a cup over here, I'd say, great, you have water, but the water over here is sufficient. And jazakumullah khair, but I got water. Correct? Okay. Now, imagine when there's no water over here, then how much would I appreciate the water in your hand? A little bit more, okay? Okay, but alhamdulillah, I've eaten, I'm not thirsty, I'm perfectly fine, and so on and so forth. Imagine now me in a state if I was thirsty, okay? How much would I appreciate the water in your hands then? More, correct? Okay, jazakumullah khair. Imagine now continue and I'm on a 4-hour hike up a mountain and I forgot my water, okay? On top of that mountain, when I'm really, really thirsty, how much would I appreciate that cup of water? A lot more, right? In proportion to how thirsty I am. You see that? I'm not mentioning these stages arbitrarily. Each stage has a meaning behind it. Now consider this last stage that I want to mention here. It's not the most extreme one, but it is the last one I'll mention today. Imagine you're in the scorching heat of the desert and you are about to die of thirst. Okay? At that particular moment, how much would you appreciate a glass of water? Well, you'd appreciate it as much as you appreciate your life. You see that? Your connection with the material world. You see that? Appreciation is the me'yar, the criterion of how intense shukr is. Salawat, please. So, how intently would I thank somebody who brought me water? Well, depends when they bring it, correct? If I already have a cup of water here and you bring me a cup of water, I'd say thank you, but the emotion I'd feel inside of me would be appropriate to the need and the appreciation I had for that which you brought to me. You see that? Okay. The same thing went further in the examples that followed. As the need in me increased, the appreciation of that which was given to me increased, right? So right now, when the brother brought a glass of water over here, I said, Jazakallah, correct? But I didn't cry, I didn't turn my full tawajjuh towards him and so on and so forth, correct? Imagine you were in the desert alone and you're about to die of thirst, and someone brings you a glass of water, you might cry out of joy, right? It's finally here. You see that? Do you understand that? Okay. So the emotion felt is proportionate to what? The appreciation understood and felt. Salawat, please. So now I invite yourself and myself to look at our past. That's something we have real data on. Okay? And to look and see that at what level of an effect has the shukr we felt regarding the Holy Prophet has been so far. So we saw that shukr is something that's a real emotion, and it's something which is based off of, the intensity of the emotion is based off of how much I need something, how much I appreciate it is based off of that. You see that? Okay. And can I lie about a feeling? Can you lie about how hungry you are? Ever been in those meetings where you should not be making grumbling sounds, but you end up making grumbling sounds? Can you control that? Can you lie about that feeling? You can't. You see that? And emotion is something which is truthful innately. It's revealing something innate about you. You see that? About your understanding and your existence at that particular point. And hence, it's never a liar. Never. You see that? Okay. So just like how hunger is not a liar, you can only express that which you feel, and you feel at the intensity that you express for yourself. Okay? How hungry am I? Well, as hungry as I feel. Okay? Shukr is the same way. Shukr is a real emotion, and it's something that is felt. And how intensely you felt shukr is exactly dependent upon how great of a need and how much you appreciated that which you are shakir for, thankful for. You see this? And then I told you guys, and myself first, let's look in the past and look at the shukr I've had towards the Holy Prophet in terms of the emotional experience regarding that. Do you see this or no? If you see this, say salawat, please. This is a very good mechanism of assessing exactly how much I understand and appreciate the Holy Prophet. At the level of intensity my feeling of shukr has been, is the level of intensity that I've understood and appreciated. Do you see this or no? Do you see this or no? Regardless of whatever labels I place on myself. We live in a world where individuals would come and display shukr through words without experiencing and feeling shukr in the heart. God forbid we do that towards our Holy Prophet, where the display of love on the words is at a different level, and the display of shukr in the heart is not even trying to grow and go towards that display of love in the words. You see this? That's why it's so essential to understand and appreciate our need towards the Holy Prophet. Why? Because if you don't understand that and you don't appreciate it, you simply won't feel shukr towards it. Salawat, please. Okay. There are multiple ways of looking at things that you appreciate. Okay. Some ways of, let's consider some of those, okay? Some of those are my dependencies, and others are called the I dependencies. I'll open that up for you, okay? If you gave me this glass of water, right, I will be appreciative of it at the level of my thirst. You see this? The thirst, is it my whole self? If you take thirst away from me, do I disappear? No. That means it's a part of me, correct? So then my appreciation of the water you bring to me will be linked to this aspect of me called thirst. You see that? And then the thankfulness towards this water is a thankfulness at the level of the my dependency. Are you following along so far? Alhamdulillah. So as the closeness and the intensity of my relationship, the I between that my thirst, becomes greater, meaning the greater the thirst becomes for me, the more the thirst is able to gain my tawajjuh, the more I lose myself to the thirst. What ends up happening? The more I end up appreciating that particular water. Following so far? Alhamdulillah. All the way to that point in the desert where my life was now dependent on the thirst, and the thirst was so close to me that I thought it was as if it is me. It's the sustainer of me. You see that? That my was like my consciousness. You see that? It was the closest possible thing. It was almost like I was saying, I can't be without this particular thing. Okay? And the thirst fed at that particular point was the highest level of thirst of the my deficiencies. You see that so far? But dear brothers and sisters, the I deficiencies are greater than the my deficiencies. And the dependency we have on the Holy Prophet is not a dependency of a my deficiency, it's the dependency of the I deficiency. I'll open that up right now. Salawat, please. The Holy Qur'an comes and assists us in this. What does it say? In Surah Ahzab, what appears in the text of the Qur'an is the verse number 6. It says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The portion says this. An-Nabi awla bil-mu'minin min anfusihim. You see that? The Qur'an is saying, Aziz Aman, oh my dear ones, the Nabi is greater for you than anfusihim. For the mu'min, the Nabi is greater than any my. You see this or no? Okay. So the Quran is directing us that the dependency on the Holy Prophet is not a my deficiency at all. It is a I deficiency. That means the Quran is saying all the dependencies you've ever had regarding any of your my's, my car, my house, my family, my emotions, my aql, all the way to my consciousness. How dependent are you on your consciousness? Very much so. If you took that away from me, I could simply not talk to you here. I'd fall. Yes? Okay. I won't be dead, but I'd be in a coma, let's say. Do you see this or no? Okay. So the dependency that I have towards my minds at the highest level is the dependency I have on my consciousness. The Quran is saying, An-Nabi awla. Yes or no? Salawat, please. So I understand now that the Quran is telling me that if I am a mu'min, at the level that I am a mu'min, at that level I will appreciate and understand and experience in this order. Appreciate meaning what? I want to learn. Understand meaning what? I start to create the presence of the mind. I start to understand. And experience meaning what? I create the presence of the heart. I experience. You see that? In a relationship, the stage would look like this. I want to love my spouse because I understand that's really important. Then I have knowledge regarding why I should love my spouse, because it's not something that I'm doing them a favor. Rather, it's human nature and reality, and Allah wants from me that, and I'm an owned I. And then I actually love my spouse, the emotion. See the difference in the three things? Okay. So the projection and the growth that we will have regarding our understanding and our shukr towards the Holy Prophet's existence will follow this way. A mu'min will be somebody who will understand where they have to go and why, understand the specifics of it at the level of understanding and conceptualizing, thinking, and then it'll go towards actually feeling. You see this projection? Salawat, please. So, An-Nabi awla bil mu'mineen min anfusikum. Why did it not say An-Nas? Why? Consider this. Is the Nabi, na'udhu billah, not awla bi anfusin for the Nas, for example? It's not the case, right? The value of the Nabi is greater even for the Nas. So this particular verse is not talking about a reality as how it is. It's talking about a reality how it is seen by the mu'min, which happens to be reality as how it is. So an individual who's able to see this awlaviyat, this awla towards themselves, at that level they're a mu'min. That's it. The whole world combined could come and call me, Sayyid, you're a mu'min. And if I don't experience this particular emotion in me towards the Nabi, the Qur'an is saying, good luck. Salawat, please. Okay. Now, consider this particular scenario and this particular understanding, please. How much am I in love with myself? Well, a lot. And where does it show? It shows in all of my my's. You see that? Why do you like your car? Because it's your car. Why do you like your family? Because it's your family. And why do you take care of your physical body or your intellect? Because it's your intellect. At the level that you love yourself, that finds itself apparent only in the love of the my's. You see this? The love you have towards an I is only apparent and displayable in the love you have towards the my's. Only there. Okay? So when it comes time to appreciate a I dependency, it's only possible through a my dependency. Consider this analogy very, very carefully. Imagine you have the sun and you have the ray of the sun at 1 millimeter away from the sun. Okay? And then you have the rays reaching all the way down to our backyard. Okay? Have that picture in your mind? Okay. Imagine you're that ray for a second, looking down on the earth. Everything below that particular ray is a my dependency. It's my lower ray. You see that? Everything that the sunlight in my backyard has is getting through the 1 millimeter ray near the sun. Do you see that or no? Okay. It can't get anything from the sun without it first receiving it from the 1 millimeter ray. So, and hence, looking at it from the 1 millimeter ray's perspective, everything below ends up being a my. You see that? Okay. In any moment, is that 1 millimeter ray disconnected from the sun? No. Because if it was, there would be no more my's. So every time you have a need that you feel and appreciate in your life at all, whether it be a need and appreciation of you being alive, and a need and an appreciation of you being hungry or thirsty, or having feelings, or having an emotions, or having a family, or having anything, absolutely all of your my's, and there is an unbelievable amount of them. You see that? All of those things are nothing but the projection of the greatest deficiency, the greatest appreciation, which is the appreciation to the I. That sun ray that was really close to the surface, it was only able to have any of those sun rays as long as it was connected to the sun. And in paying attention to any of the rays, it was only able to do so as long as it was connected to that particular sun. At any moment it was disconnected, it simply couldn't look at the sun rays below it because they were not there anymore, because it wasn't there anymore. So now if your dependency on somebody is awla bi anfusikum, for example, O mu'mineen, right? Then that means that that particular person is the owner of your existence. That means that every single thing you have, including your consciousness of your I, is given to you through that particular sun. What's one of the titles of the Prophet? As-Sirajul Munir. Salawat, please. What does that mean? The bright sun. Yes? How bright? Well, it's the sun from which all light comes from. Do you see this? Al-Siraj. You see that? So at any level there's light, it's understood that all of it is sourced from this particular origin. That means at any level in my life, I have appreciation for anything. If I love my kids, if I love my spouse, if I love myself, all of it at every level is granted to me through the Prophet. And me pursuing those loves in the allowed, justified manner, you see that, is only possible through the Prophet. Who can tell you how to spend your money? Well, the one who gave it to you. Who can tell you how to love your spouse? Well, the one who gave you that love. Who can tell you how to go towards eating food and treat your hunger? The one who gave it to you. And that's why we said that our Sharia and the mechanism that the Holy Prophet gave to the world, the Ummah, was something which covers all aspects of life at every level. Who can bring the Sharia? The one who gave the world everything that the Sharia is telling you to control. You see that? It's not an externally placed mechanism of control. It's an innately and eternally and inner mechanism of control. Salawat, please. Another salawat, please. There's a story. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells one of his holy prophets, one of the prophets, Hazrat Musa Zahiran, thank me. Okay? And the Prophet Musa alayhi salam turns and says, wait a second. Allah, for every thanks that I do, I gotta give another thanks. I can't thank you. You see that? Allah tells that Prophet, says, with this understanding, thank me. Thank me with the understanding that you can't thank me. How is that felt and done? Well, it's felt through a thanks which is through humility. I'll open this point up and I'll end your zahamat, inshallah. Salawat, please. Allah tells to that Prophet that thank me with the understanding that you can't thank me. Okay? And now that Prophet, if you were to place yourself in those shoes, what type of a thanks would it be? It would be a thanks out of humility, correct? Yes? Real humility is not putting yourself below somebody. Oh, I'm your servant. Oh, I'm your this or I'm your that. Real humility is standing on your tippy toes as high as you can stand and still seeing that the thing before you is a mountain. Real humility is to understand and experience that the thing you're before is a mountain. Meaning at your highest level, that which that has is more. That's real humility. So it's an experience, it's a real thing, it's not a faked position. Real humility is not just the actions and, oh, I'm sorry, and I'm below you, and so on and so forth. It's not. Real humility is for me to assess and understand and experience that even if I stood up on my tippy toes and reached as high as I can, I'm still a speck before the mountain. That's real humility. Do you see that? Salawat, please. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling His Prophet, do shukr towards me, right? At what level? At this level that you at least understand that you can't do shukr towards me. Okay? What do you do shukr for? Do you do shukr for a blessing? Yes or no? Yes. Which is the highest blessing you have? Is it a my blessing or the I blessing? The highest blessing you have is your own existence, correct? Every single thing you have after that came from this thing. Yes? Well, and the Qur'an also told you that the Holy Prophet, he's the one through whom even your existence was granted to you. It's an I deficiency you have towards him. You see that? And that means the humility you have towards the Holy Prophet, oh boy. It's extremely great. Now when you do shukr towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving the Holy Prophet to you, at least you can appreciate, understand where it should be. The whole purpose of this talk today is not to cook the food and make you taste it. It's to tell you how to understand how to cook food. You see this? Salawat, please. So, I have to understand that if this emotion is not within me, then I got to do something. And that should be a motivator towards at least figuring out why is it that I got to do something, and really, how is it that this I dependency is greater and the Holy Prophet is giving me that I? How is it the case? Okay? And as I understand that, just like how I understood why I should love my wife, right? I conceptually understood it, and then day to day I saw she was taking care of my kids. If she wasn't there, I wouldn't be able to do anything. Okay? Then that's translated into an emotion for me. You see that? Where the love was very real. In that same way, this projection goes. And this projection, if it's done appropriately, then a person starts to feel love in a very humble way. In your family relationships, who do you feel this love towards in that way? You feel it towards your father. You see that? The love you feel towards your father is a unique love. I want you to appreciate this. When the Holy Prophet wanted to introduce himself to the Ummah, he introduced himself as what? As the Father. Yes or no? Okay. Why did he do that? Because there's a specific and unique emotion that man has towards their father, and that love is very, very unique. That person feels that everything I have, including my body, belongs to who? Who did it come from? My dad. Do you see that? The humility and humbleness you feel in front of your dad. Do you think you're putting yourself down, or you feel even if I stand on the most tip of toes in front of him, I'm standing before a mountain? Do you see that? The Holy Prophet is saying that, Azizam, to appreciate me, Allah has given you something that it's not possible for you to exist in this world without it, except for two individuals, and those were prophets, I made sure. You see that? Every other creature of mine who's a human, who I expect this from, I made sure they came into this world, and it's not possible that they can come into this world without having a father. Okay? So I gave innately the capacity to all mankind to now appreciate and understand what the I dependency is like. Salawat, please. I can't see the time from here very clearly because my eyes are blurry. Thank you so much, Jazakumullah khair. I will end your zahamat very shortly, inshallah. Another salawat, please. You see, we are in the ayyam where we are assisted by, in our development, by Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. Okay? In Sahifa Sajjadiyah, the second dua, after the Imam teaches us how to think and understand Allah, right away the Imam teaches us how to think and understand the Holy Prophet. Okay? The second dua in that particular Sahifa is this dua regarding the appreciation of the Holy Prophet. The first line is what I will read to you, and then we'll continue, inshallah, and conclude. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Walhamdulillahi alladhi manna alayna bi Muhammadin nabiyyih sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. Salawat. Today's entire talk, I was opening up the understanding of manna. Manna alayna. Do you see this? Manna means what? You Arabs out there? It doesn't mean just to give and provide. It means to grant and bestow. What's the difference between give, provide, grant, and bestow? Look at the uses of it. I could say you gave me water. I wouldn't say you bestowed water to me. Yes? You see that? Bestowal has an understanding of lack of ownership, no expectancy. I don't deserve it. I'm actually humble. I actually wasn't even there when my dad decided I have to come to the world, and I came to the world. And then now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, manna alayna, the shafqa of our father. Didn't deserve it. I didn't do anything for him to love me when I came into the world. I couldn't even move. I was drooling and I couldn't even clean the drool on my face. You see that? And at that time he loved me. You see that? For such an individual, you use the word bestowal. You see that? You wouldn't say, God, you gave me a dad. You say, God, you bestowed upon me a father. If you understood that, let's try salawat, please. So we're saying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed upon us the Holy Prophet. Okay? Why us is another deep topic that will require a lot more time, and I won't open it for you. But it's important to understand that the I plus the my's equals us sometimes. Do you see that? Sometimes we think of us as me, you, this guy, and that guy. Another way of looking at us is the I plus the my's. And I'll conclude there, inshallah. We have to understand that this appreciation, the Holy Prophet also knew that we would have a hard time understanding his position. A father knows that my child simply wasn't aware and conscious when I had to wake up at night times to take care of him or go out to work and earn money from him. The child was even a toddler, an infant, not able to recollect and remember. See that? The father understands that, and that's why he assists the child in what? In appreciating him. Why and how? The Holy Prophet said, I am from Hussein and Hussein is from me. And then we understand Allah blessed us with something unique, that you need nothing but the name of Hussein to start crying. Allah blessed us something unique within us, that you need nothing but to bring your attention towards Hussein to start crying. Do you understand? So He gave you in your nafs a deep connection to Him, a fire that will never become cold. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi